Verse 5, then both Mahlon and Chilion also died. In approximately 10 years of living, no more than a few verses are given to show the life events of the family of Elimelech. In them are contained death, followed by marriage, followed by death. Only the details which are pertinent to the story are given, and only the details which point us to God's work in redemptive history are pertinent. As with the Father and as with all of us, the lives of Mahlon and Chilion were in the hands and at the will of God. It is during this time of spiritual lethargy that the sons marry, and it is during this time that no children are born. God has directed the events of their lives for a greater purpose, a purpose which they can't see, but which is all the time leading us to bring us to Jesus. It has been speculated that the two sons died because they married Moabite women. In essence, it is judgment on disobedience for following after the gods of Moab. It is also speculated that no children were born to the women during their marriages as punishment to their husbands. Now, there are several reasons to know that these are both incorrect assumptions. All right, the first is when God judges this way, it is stated. We see an example of it, for example, in the death of Judah's son It says here in Genesis 38, but Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord killed him. Okay, so we have an explicit reference to what God is doing. Such judgment is noted as a lesson, and they are noted often, but no such hint is given in the deaths of Mahlon and Chilion. Secondly, Naomi's words to her daughters later in this chapter to return to their gods implies that they had married into a family who had been following the Lord. Thirdly, Ruth will, in the coming chapters, marry a man named Boaz. If God were to have killed these sons for disobedience, then the same would be seen in Boaz for him doing so. But this is completely contrary to the entire message of the book of Ruth. That assumption is wrong. Fourth, the women not bearing children cannot be seen as any type of punishment. God withheld children from Sarah, from Rebekah, from Rachel, and from Tamar, among others later in the pages of the Bible in order to meet his goals. Finally, Ruth will have a baby to Boaz who is an Israelite, just coming in a few pages ahead. And so punishment for having married her is an entirely wrong view. All such assumptions that God was somehow displeased with these actions are incorrect. Okay?